This is a true story from the Titanic, and one of the saddest I've ever researched. Alice Elizabeth Fortune was born in Manitoba, Winnipeg, Canada, on the 10th of May 1887, and was the fourth of 6 children conceived by wealthy Mark Fortune and Mary Fortune McDougall. In 1912, when her parents invited her and her 3 siblings, Ethel, Mabel and Charles, to the Grand Tour of Europe, Alice was still living with her parents, although she was already engaged to Charles Holden Allen. William Thomas Sloper, who admired Alice, was with her at Shepherd's Hotel in Cairo. According to him, on February 12, 1912, Alice was sitting in the gallery of the hotel when a fortune teller approached her and said, "You are in danger every time you travel by sea, because I see you adrift in an open boat. You will lose everything but your life." Alice gave money to the little man, who disappeared into the crowd. To return to Manitoba, Canada, the Fortune family decided to board the Titanic as first-class passengers. They boarded the ship on the 10th of April 1912 in Southampton. Alice was 24 years old at the time. They had a cabin on the starboard side, while their parents occupying cabin C-27. The 3 sisters shared cabin C-25. Brother Charles had a cabin to himself, C-23. On the night of the 14th of April, the Titanic collided with an iceberg, and she went down by the head. As it became clear the ship was sinking, her captain had ordered to evacuate the passengers. Alice, her 2 sisters and mother entered Lifeboat 7 and gave their jewellery to their father and 19-year-old brother Charlie. The 2 men stranded on board the sinking vessel sadly lost their lives. All the women in the family survived. A few months after the Titanic disaster, Alice and Charles Allen married. They took their vows on June 8, 1912. You can only imagine how she felt not having her father walk her down the aisle. In 1914, Alice and Charles had their first and only child, Mary Marjorie Allen. Their daughter Mary later married Clark Rutherford, who sadly lost his life at sea. When the ship he commanded, HMCS Ottawa, sank in World War II in September 1942. Alice and Charles had a holiday home in Chester, Nova Scotia, and retired there. She became widowed when Charles passed away in 1955. Alice passed away on April 7, 1961, at the age of 73, a few days after the death of her sister Ethel. Charles and Alice were laid to rest at Bayview Anglican Cemetery in Chester. So rest in peace, you will be remembered.